Starfleet Underground. Every week, we'll take a look at the latest Star Trek news and then check out a current or classic episode of Star Trek.
Huzzah! A lonely space entity has teamed up with Mbega's daughter to provide us with one of the most fun episodes of Star Trek in a long time. And that doesn't even include Pike's hair. A storybook episode with a king, a queen, wizards, sword fights, and more. Just no court gesture.
Ow! What the hell? All these little pieces. Where the hell is all of these little the dot pieces? Oh, great. Here they come. Oh, my God. They're jousting in the hall. Don't laugh at me. I am not me lord. What are you doing? In 007, why are you... And what the hell is that rolling down the hall? It's rolling down the hall and then pole vaulting. What the hell is that? Heather.
It's not a pole. Okay, so I had a couple experiments. Some of them turned out not the way I was expecting, but now we have Unicorn-Tribbles.
And Chief?
Yes.
We have the dots are doing jousting contests down the hall, and there's pieces all over the corridor, and I hurt my foot because I was walking barefoot. I shouldn't have done that.
I swear, I'm going to the Ren Fair that's coming up, and I'm bringing the dots. This is going to be awesome. We're going to win the jousting competition.
Is that what they're practicing for?
That's why one of them was dressed like Gandalf, saying, "You shall not pass."
Yeah, they were telling that to Heather for the gallery because she's going in to cook.
Oh, you shall not pass.
Yeah, but I was okay with that.
It's just, wow. What?
That was the rest of the galaxy.
What do you mean, Doc? I don't drink mead. We're starting the podcast.
I'll have the beer.
He just drinks during the podcast.
He just brought in mead and says, "My lord, your refreshment."
I'm waiting for my turkey leg.
Oh, wow.
Hey, if it's not synthanol, I'll take it.
I don't know if it is or not. Todd, is that synthanol? It is?
Oh,
okay,
never
thank
mind.
you. Yeah, get one for Heather and get one for Patrick.
Not the way she drinks it.
Yeah, and get one for Chief, too. What the hell? If you guys are going to be doing this fantasy thing, everybody should have at least a little bit of enjoyment. And sweep up the friggin' corridors. I know the show is on right now. I've given up trying to cut the feed before we start. I see that Cylon light is still in front of me. Okay, thank you for the reminder anyway. Go ahead and get things done. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Starfleet Underground. My name, if you don't know it by now, if you don't know me by now, you will never. Okay, stop.
Know me.
Yeah, okay. My name is Captain Nathan Adams. See, we have a very good ensemble here. We musically entertain you. I have a full crew complement today. I have my science officer.
Hi, I'm Heather Ferris. I'm the science officer, and I cannot be held responsible for the Unicorn-Tribbles and what they do with those horns.
Yeah, that's why I'm locking my door because I don't want them going ramming speed. It is kind of funny because they go to roll, then they hit the horn and they pole vault.
Yeah, cute. I think it gives them a headache because they act like their head hurts after. It's like they sort of stumble and are a little dizzy and everything, and then they go rolling again.
Yeah. Part of their head is, they're all head.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's all head.
I just give him head.
I saw some of them in sickbay in the old-fashioned cold water tank thing dump, and they're sitting there screaming in Tribble, "Oh, mama," because they're enjoying the reduction of the headache, I guess.
You mean like the governor's fish tank of heads?
It's a good possibility. It looks exactly like that. I didn't look real good. But
wait, was that a Walking Dead?
Yeah, it was.
Wow, it's been years since I've seen that episode.
Deep cut. Okay, next.
Actually, it was his birthday just recently, too.
He plays evil people really well. Mm-hmm. Speaking of people who are not evil, I have my wonderful communications officer. Well, no, let me stop. He's not just communications. He's my number one and our computer guy.
Hi, Patrick, number one computer guy and foreign species liaison.
And thank you for not telling me when I had a problem with my console, did I try turning it off and turning it on again? Because you know I do. So thank you. Mm-hmm. And we have our winner of the O'Brien Award, the person that makes us go.
The wiener.
He is our Geordie to our Pac-Led, our chief engineer.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rocky. I'm the engineer of the show and the ship. And the power of magic is awesome because it's It's science.
That's why you
science you don't know yet.
That's why you were hitting the sonic spanner on the console and going abracadabra.
Hey, that sucker whipped into shape when I did, though.
But see,
that's called physical maintenance.
I have fairy magic. That's different than science.
Yeah, these sparkles all over the place.
Yes, totally not science.
Okay, well, thanks everybody for joining us. We are being brought to you by not only Section 31, they haven't really bothered us a whole lot lately, so that's a good thing. Our Patreon users, as well as our listeners. So thank you for joining us. And before we get into our show, got to remind you, everyone, if you're easily offended and you're under the age of 18,
sorry,
just stop listening right now because you're going to hear me say things and the rest of the crew say things that we don't normally say out in public.
Nah, it'll curl your toes. It's not meant for kids.
Yeah, one person tried to get a lawsuit saying that her child listened to our podcast and they instantly turned hairy and looked like a Sasquatch. It's not.
It's called puberty.
Yes.
I thought they sued us because we were trying to take that creature and experiment on it, because I was really interested to find out why that happened.
It was just a teenager hitting puberty.
Yeah, but you thought it was a giant tribble.
Yeah, I was excited.
Yeah, so that wasn't a good thing. But that's okay because we get out of it. Some people took care of it. I don't know if it was Section 31 or not, but hey. Next thing we're going to find out is whether or not if we had any corrections.
Let me check some space. Nope. All clear.
Outstanding. And this is a section which some people actually tell us they like listening because we fill them in on little bullet points that they may not know. This is all the information that we could scrub from the galaxy from the north, east, west, and south of it. And we're going to start off with our north person.
Who's that?
Which is you. You're
north. It's me.
Because you're first, so you're north.
Yes, I like that. Okay, so my news this week is, if anyone saw this on Twitter, the picture is just fantastic. I've looked at it a million times and it just gives me like all the good feels. Robert Picardo, who plays the Doctor on Voyager, officiated Bill Nye the Science Guy's wedding. And they have a picture of it, and it's all the good feels, and it's so exciting. So if you can, we have a link to it in the description below, or you might be able to find it on our Twitter feed.
Outstanding. That is really awesome. That's like fandom coming together. I love it.
Yes, crossing the streams.
I love it. That is so cool. And now for he's not wicked of the East, but he can be pretty wicked in his knowledge. And that's my number one. What do you got for us, News?
Well, Sonequa Martin Green took a break from the filming of season 5 to hit up the UK premiere of Strange New Worlds. And they were talking, and she said that going to be more Tilly. Although it hasn't been confirmed from Michelle Paradise, but she will be returning in some capacity.
Yes.
And also, Alex Kurtzman confirmed that there will be a Star Trek universe crossover of some sort. Although it's assumed to be from between the current series, but, you know, who knows? Sonequa did say that she would love to share screen time with Kate Mulgrew, Patrick Stewart, Whoopi Goldberg, and or Avery Brooks. So
that would be amazing if Avery came back as well.
Totally.
I want to see Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh my God, yeah.
But the question is, would Avery be stoned?
Well, I don't care as long as he punches out Q again, because that was a moment, but not to actually hit him physically because we love John, but it would be kind of cool. For those of you who don't know, might add a little flavor into this. Alex Kurtzman has been extremely busy, and he also has helped with a show called The Man Who Fell to Earth, and that's on Showtime. If you want a little Star Trek connective tissue here. The very first Man Who Fell to Earth was with David Bowie, and it really made a lot of ripples with people who love sci-fi and the premise of it. This one is a continuation of that movie with the same title, and it's got, Patrick, you're going to have to help me with the pronunciation because I will butcher
pronunciation
of the, not that pronunciation, the pronunciation of the actor.
I'm just so thrilled
of the actor. Okay.
I'm just so thrilled that we all butcher names on this show. Like, it just makes me feel so good knowing I'm not the only one that like screws up words.
It's because we all read fast, and they say people who read fast don't take time to pronounce the words in their head.
Okay.
The guy's name he was in Serenity. He played the one that was chasing after Nathan Fillion. Chiwetel Ejiofor. He's the main character, and he does such a marvelous job. If you want to see an interesting show on Showtime, A Man Who Fell to the Earth, it's really, really good. It's trending 4.5 stars or 6.6 if you look on IMDb. It's an excellent show, and he does such a good job playing an alien, trying to fit in at least a little bit.
He was in Doctor Strange too.
Yes, he was. He played
a really good actor.
Mordor. Yeah, he's a really good actor, and you see the things at 12 Years a Slave also. So, phenomenal actor. So if you guys want to see something good, that's something to watch. Now we're going to go over to our Westworld. Chief?
That's coming back.
Yes,
they made another season of that. My brain is like scrambled from the last 3 seasons.
They're doing a jump ahead 7 years.
And real quick, Nathan, it wasn't Mordor, it's Mordo.
Mordo, thank you. See, that's why you're the corrections officer. They're going to jump ahead 7 years.
Can you imagine doing a podcast on the Westworld show?
Yeah.
Like my brain is so fried by that show.
Yeah, it wouldn't be good.
Cowboys and androids, though, that's pretty hot stuff. So you want to hear my news story for the week?
Yes, please.
Okay, so Paramount Plus has come to the UK and Ireland. That's right. If you can't get your friends across the pond to call or talk, it's because they're binge watching right now, because now they have access to season 4 of Discovery, the first 10 episodes of Prodigy, and the first 3 episodes of Strange New World. They're going to be catching up on Strange New World. They're 5 weeks behind us right now. So be careful on the spoiler alert, all right? And apparently Star Trek Picard and Lower Decks are still available internationally on Amazon and the animated series on Netflix. But everything else is on Paramount Plus for these people. So that's kind of cool.
That is really cool. As a matter of, it's about time that they went out there, because I know our friends across the pond were extremely agitated and upset that they couldn't get it.
Well, they don't like having to configure their VPN.
Yeah, and a lot of them don't. Well, some of them
A lot of them don't know how.
Or I don't even know how. I could probably figure it out. I'm the engineer, but I just don't, I don't need to use it. So,
well, I can help you because I got a black box from a Ferengi about a month ago, and it works pretty good so far.
Does it work on cable as well?
Yeah, except you got to feed it latinum every once in a while.
Wait a minute. That's the way the cable company's box works.
Oh, no wonder. Okay. And he just forgot to mention that when he sold it to me.
We definitely don't need your black box being configured.
Thank you very much, Dinkleberry. All right. My news is going on for the south part of it. I don't know if you guys remember that there was a 10 Forward experience in Los Angeles about last March. They're going to bring that to San Diego. So if you didn't get a chance to go, you have a chance now to get all those photo ops and everything. It's a replication of Whoopi's bar at 10 Forward, complete with the bottles and everything else. And they serve different drinks, and the ticket comes with food, as well as a couple of drinks, non-alcoholic as well as alcoholic. And that's going to be from July 21st to the 24th. So, and it's going to be
significantly increased price.
Yes. So you'll be able to step inside, and also they have merchandise. Yeah, they have merchandise down there, and it's going to be at the glass. So it's going to be at the
which we
gas
bought most
lamp.
of when we were there.
Yeah, the guy was like, "We want 1 of those, 2 of those, 3 of those, and kiss your mother." So we have. It's going to be at the 340 Fifth Avenue at the gas lamp quarter of San Diego. So they're going to kind of, I guess, make it look like it did in the show. So again, if you want to get a chance to see it, head over to the Fever website and order your tickets right now. Fever website, in case you wanted to know, is feverup.com. That's feverup.com. And you can go ahead and put that in there and be a member. Who knows? You may or may not see the first officer and I kind of just looking in there. Said, been there, done that, but who knows?
It didn't, I got a t-shirt, I got the hoodie, I got the
it would be faster. It would be faster if you just told them what you didn't get.
I don't think I got the poster.
There you go. Everything else.
Yeah, you can go back for the poster. That's cool. I don't know how many people have done Comic-Con, but it's more than just Comic-Con, because there are these events that happen around it. These, what would you call it?
Events.
Yeah. These other events
around it.
Yeah, the surrounding events that actually aren't Comic-Con, but happen to be coming in because everyone else is coming in for Comic-Con. I mean, the whole city over there, that whole little area, the little district, you can walk around it and get all kinds of fun experiences. It's very cool. It's not cool, though. It's warm because it's San Diego. Dress appropriately.
Yeah.
So make sure you have fun and you'll be able to see us. And if you happen to attend it, you can find the first officer and myself up on the fan table section. We'll have a table there, so you can definitely look for us. Okay, I guess that's next. What we're going to go ahead and wander to is that we're going to have my science officer tell us exactly what happened on the show. We're going into that now.
Wait a minute, didn't we watch it? I mean, we should know, right?
Well, I hope you guys watched.
Spoiler alert.
If you haven't seen last week's show or this week's show of Strange New Worlds, then this is going to be all full of spoilers as we go through it. So remind everybody what the title of the show, and let's dive in. What's the title of the episode we watched?
Hi, Captain. So this week we watched Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Season 1, Episode 8, The Elysian Kingdom. It first aired June 23rd, 2022. Teaser.
Elysian Kingdom.
Say that again.
Now you correct her.
Elysian Kingdom.
Elysian.
Elysian.
Well, that sounds like Elysian. That's not like sexy or hot or... I don't want to go to the Elysian Kingdom.
I'm just telling you how it's pronounced. It's Elysian.
Elysian.
Okay, anyway.
That's kind of sexy, right?
Teaser. It begins like all good stories. Once upon a time, there was a father who loved his daughter very much. But Rukia was dying, and Dr. Mbenga did everything in his power to save her, including locking her up in a transporter prison in order to keep her alive. Lonely and forced to listen to her father read the same book every night, this poor tortured soul wished the story could be different. Dr. Mbenga was not evil, but he kept her in this prison for much longer than he had anticipated, and time had run out. Rukia was dying, and there was nothing he could do to save her. The doctor neglected his duties in self-care, causing his boss to notice. She finally convinced him to rest, and as any doctor, EMT, or emergency worker who is on call knows, as soon as he got home and started getting comfortable, he got called into work. Upon arriving at the bridge, the doctor sees nobility and chivalry, with a dash of Renaissance fare. All hail the king, the doctor proclaims. Doth mine eyes deceive me? I mean, what the fuck?
I don't think he said exactly that.
I love the way you put that. That's great.
I have to say, when he comes up on the bridge and the first thing he looks, he's in the flowing, Fu Manchu robes and everything. And he's looking at it and he looks and he grabs him. And I was like, wow. And then I died. I literally fell down in my cabin and died because the hair on Anson Mount, the way he had his hair.
I want to say the win to best supporting lead role. This is hair.
Yes.
Oh my God, that was so funny.
And Anson Mount was just hilarious this entire episode. I mean, he's not playing a lead character.
I totally forgot that he was Pike.
Yeah, he completely is transformed to a whole nother character. You would not think this is the same character as Pike. And
it was funny. It was hilarious.
Comical stuff going on in there.
Then when I thought I could stand up and sit down and watch the show, you have the doctor go, "Is this a joke?" And Pike goes, "Do you want a joke? Summon the Jester."
Yes! And he's
cancel Jester.
Cancel the Jester. Never mind.
And I wonder who would have been the Jester.
Yes. What poor soul.
That's something we'll never know.
That was so funny. It was like, wow.
Did you guys notice one, and I just have to say this because I've said it every episode so far, the doctor started by giving his personal log and the episode was about him. So I just had to point that out. And second, did you guys notice this huge Easter egg I've been dying to talk to you guys about since like the beginning of this morning?
What?
Which one?
Who wrote the book?
Ah, that's a good one.
Do you guys see who wrote the book?
That's a good one.
I did not.
Oh, people on Twitter have noticed this.
Oh, this is, I jumped out of my seat. Do you guys recognize the name Benny Russell?
It sounds like a jazz singer from The early
Close. It's close. It's very close.
No,
It's not Benny Goodman, but
It's very jazzy. It's very jazzy.
no, it was Sisko.
Yes.
Yes, it's Ben Sisko from the episode Far Beyond the Stars, where he was a writer and he wrote books under that name.
That
it was the
is
name.
friggin' awesome. I didn't pick
So,
up on that until you
that's
said it.
A grand Easter egg.
Yes, it means he was a real person. He wasn't a figment of Sisko's imagination. He was a real person. And the cool thing, too, is if you look at the book, the accented colors that are behind the words are red, blue, green, and gold, which are the Star Trek colors. So I was just dying when I saw this.
That's friggin' awesome.
Was that the episode where he's writing stories, but he's in the mailroom? You know,
Yep.
and
Yep,
they don't want him to publish the story because
they
he's
don't.
black.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
And he
you
has to
remember
use
that
a
one.
different name.
Yep.
Yeah.
The one we covered for when the BLM.
That
Yeah.
very one.
Yep.
It sounds
We did
familiar,
that
doesn't
one.
it?
Yeah.
Thank you for spotting out that Easter egg.
That's cool. I was wondering if somebody was going to bring that up. That's awesome.
That's pretty cool. So thank you. That was cool.
I was totally nerdgazzing about that.
Well, speaking, I mean, this is a little off topic, but speaking of books that you see in, you know, films and TV that you didn't expect to, I was just rewatching Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and when Cap comes into his apartment after hearing that his stereo was left on, there's a book about Barack Obama on his counter.
Wow. That's
pretty
way
cool.
out.
Yeah.
But very cool.
Isn't something when you watch a show, you can catch all the background connecting tissue that the writers and everybody work so hard to put in for people like us that eventually spot it and lose their shit. So I think that's really cool. But
I thought it was
this-
really cool that he starts out and he's trying to do his experiment and it blows up in his face. I mean,
That
that's,
was funny. As a science officer who has that happen to her a lot, that was hilarious.
and the shield comes in and contains it.
Yeah, which I ordered
Was it
several.
3QND or whatever it was, the chemical. Yeah, that was.
I ordered several of those shields for Heather. So
Thank you, Captain.
And of course, the other thing we keep noticing on Star Trek is the lack of seatbelts.
oh yeah,
Well, yeah.
Before the fantasy actually kicked in, Ortegas was trying to kick it in impulse drive because the warp drive wasn't working, so she's trying to do impulse.
oh,
And-
she's another shining star for this episode.
Oh my God, yes, she's awesome. But yeah, she took a flying leap because she wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
I felt so bad for her.
Got a boo-boo on her head.
The whole thing, you get up there and you look at it and it's like, what happened?
Yeah.
And you're trying to figure out yourself until they say the names and you go, oh, that's the storybook.
Yeah. Well, right before she hits her head and all that, they say this quote where Ortegas says, you going to say the thing? And then Pike's like, okay, I'll say the thing. Hit it. And I'm like, squeals and goosebumps.
That was cool too. Just this is so much fun. They have so much
It
fun with
is.
this. I
But you
love
know-
that they're enjoying it and they're putting it on screen for us to enjoy them enjoying it.
Yeah, but they act like a
Yeah.
crew that's been together because
Yeah.
being active duty or just
Yeah.
like you, if you have a team you work with, everyone is like kind of free and loose, even though you
We're
still
family.
respect rank, but you still out there and you're having fun with it.
We're family. We feel
Exactly.
comfortable with each other.
So it was pretty cool. I like that. And I liked him trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
And then Spock brings up the superstition, and Pike's like, I'm totally jinxing that.
He's like, oh, Spock, I didn't realize you
Oh,
were
I
so
know.
superstitious.
Funny.
Did Spock look hot or what?
Well, as a wizard,
I thought he was fucking sexy as shit.
Oh, when you later, yeah,
like
as a wizard,
next
yeah.
section.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Not in this section.
That was super
He
sexy.
just looked like Spock, which is just regular sexy Spock.
Yeah. But you noticed, like, I mean, he got to lean into the character because he was smiling and,
Yeah.
actually showing emotion.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
got to have like pronunciations and pauses and
Well, it's funny
Emphasis.
because normally when he's playing Spock, there's like a seriousness in his eyes, but there was a sparkle when he was playing the wizard. There was like a light in his eyes.
all of the actors said that they had so much fun doing this episode.
I can believe it, and I knew it was a good episode because I had paused mine and I go by the corridor to go get myself something to drink before they changed everything to Mead. And I hear
Yeah.
Patrick and they go, oh, Zaddy. So I had a feeling that it must have been.
No, you misheard that as ooze.
Oh, no, I'm talking about not with me going by when Spock was on screen.
Oh, okay. I think I'm like, no, bitch. No, you were wrong.
No, not me. No.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of you using me when you're over full so you can purge. So.
Oh, the image I just got. So La'an, I love how she did a complete 180. Like it was nothing compared to her Star Trek character. I know. Next section.
Yeah.
Next section.
It's so awesome, though.
Let's go to the next section.
No, it
Captain?
was nice. It was really good section. I think we did milk this one.
Okay.
So yeah.
Next section. What act are we on?
Wow.
Act 1. Through the Looking Glass. Dr. Mbenga can't believe his eyes as he feels like he is stuck in a dream. All his friends are there, but they are not acting like themselves. Asking for Ortegas, he is corrected with a Sir Adia, which the doctor immediately recognizes from the book he's reading, his daughter, which he's read a million times. Wondering if he just fell down a rabbit hole, the doctor runs a system diagnostic check of the ship and everything comes back 100% normal. So he travels over to sickbay and scans himself with the tricorder. Again, everything is 100% well. Chapel, who is in sickbay, notices and offers to examine his aura, in which the doctor responds by abruptly scanning her and a few others with the tricorder. All have elevated dopamine levels, so they are feeling good. Make way for the princess. All hail Princess Thalia. After much giggling and puppy talk, shouts are heard from the hallway and the group rushes out to see Hemmer being dragged away by the Crimson Guard. The doctor attempts to stop them but fails. Interestingly, the whole time, Hemmer is yelling about how everyone here has lost their minds. It's time for revenge. It's time to unleash the Mercury Stone. Unfortunately, the doctor doesn't have it, but Hemmer does. It's time to go rescue him, but they must first come up with a plan. They'll try diplomacy, and if that doesn't work, they'll stick them with the pointy end. The group ventures forth to the Queen's quarters, guided by Spock the Wizard. I should put Sexy Spock. Guided by Sexy Spock the Wizard, through the Jeffrey tubes into the cargo bay, right in Uhura's Ice Queen trap. No Mercury Stone? Throw them in the dungeon.
So, you could say the Crimson Guard got a Hummer.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
Get it? Like a Hummer.
Oh, God,
Is that what you were going to say?
He's making a hammer joke?
I'm making
He's
a Hummer
making a
joke.
Hummer
Joke.
Oh,
The Crimson Guard got a Hummer.
Oh, God.
But he also kind of, I like the fact where he's like, oh, I know this isn't his section yet, though. But he's like, what the hell is going on? And the doctor's like, okay, so he's not affected. And he's also kind of freaked out because he lost his daughter. His daughter didn't show up in the scan. And you had the guards. Wait, this is not the part where oh my God, I'm blanking on her name. Where she shows up.
Rukia?
With the bow. She's the
No,
Huntress.
yeah, that's way ahead.
The princess.
Oh, Una.
Yeah. We're not. The Huntress
Una
is not
shows
here
up
yet.
later.
Yeah, the Huntress is like.
But even you see Uhura, they're just.
Wait, did we see her yet?
We didn't see her yet?
That's not.
Oh my God, where the hell is my
No,
brain?
we saw Uhura because we see the Ice Queen. They venture forth to the Ice Queen's
Okay, there you go.
quarters,
Yeah,
guarded
you're right.
by
They
Spock.
do see her,
And
yeah.
they don't have the Mercury Stone, and she's pissed.
And she's upset. But again, you could see that these characters, everybody on the show was just eating it up. It reminds me of what the Enterprise would it be if it was like in the show Lower Decks when everyone was like role playing on the ship.
Yeah.
That's right. Everyone's dressed up for a run fair.
You know, everyone's getting the run fair stuff.
Pike and La'an's characters were absolutely the best. I mean,
Oh,
La'an
she
was just
Oh, my God.
LDD,
I was so
She was
happy to
so-
finally see that dress in the show. We got to see that dress in Chicago at the convention, and we're like, what the fuck are these costumes? This is awesome, but I don't know what this is going to be weird. And yeah, it was weirdly awesome.
And you finally saw
Then
him.
on the after show, you find out that that dog was actually her dog in real life.
That's her actual doggy. That's cool.
Yeah,
you know.
that's her dog. And the dog's been in a few other, it's been in a few other movies or TV shows.
It's an internet sensation.
Well, apparently it's got its own Instagram.
That's what I meant. Instagram.
Yeah, which I'll have to link to in the show notes now that I mentioned it.
But she was just, I mean,
yeah,
so
Doggie Speak.
Her character was so different from
yes.
Oh yeah, big
a complete 180. Complete 180.
It was so like Gone with the Wind, fiddle-dee-dee kind of,
Oh, a super dramatic princess,
It was feathery and light and and everything's so wonderful. And compared to her staunch, like, I'm going to fuck you up character, it was awesome. I love seeing that. She really looked like a princess. She reminded me of the girl from The Labyrinth.
Oh, yeah.
The movie The Labyrinth.
Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah, Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah, she really did kind of look like that. that was pretty cool. Did she come out like totally femme with her fingers or her movement with her little dog? So that was cool.
And the way she talked.
The Doggie Speak was hilarious.
Oh my God, the baby talk. Yes, and the look on the doctor's face is like, are you fucking serious?
Well, speaking of looks, the looks between Sir Adia and Sir Ralph. Oh my God.
Oh, that was hilarious. Those two bickering back and forth.
Pike, Anson mounts just the sideways glances and the
I tell you,
the eye rolls.
the acting Anson Mount did without saying a fucking word was legendary. Yeah. So it was just beautiful work.
You could tell
I was like, girl, are you sure he gay? Because
he ate it up so funny. I can't wait to the other part when the conflict happens and what he does, because that's another part I fell down in tears.
Yes.
He's just so funny. And you're right. He did give off that vibe. He did. He had. It's like, girl, I will slap you up and down this corridor.
It reminded me of two bickering siblings.
Well, you know what I'm waiting for now? Now they have to have the buddy cop car chase scene.
Oh,
right? Yeah. They're basically doing it every day with the Enterprise. But can you see them paired up together in a buddy cop film?
Oh, I would love to see those two together.
I would totally. I'll be all over that. If they weren't busy doing the Star Trek thing, that would be awesome to see.
He does such a good job. I fell in love with his acting ability back, like I said it early on, Hell on Wheels. The guy's a phenomenal actor.
Oh, he is.
And the Inhumans, even though he didn't say anything.
Yeah, but still his presence.
Well, yeah, he can do so much without saying a word. He just, it oozes through the camera lens. It's so good.
It's really.
You can use it on me.
Speaking of which,
oozing?
when Queen Uhura said, fine, I will let my torturers drag its location out of you. And they love their work. They are very thorough. They look everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, butt check, anal probe. Holy shit, bend over and cough.
Could you not, did you see her nails? Of course they're going to check everywhere.
Fantastic.
Those were thorough. Can you?
I do not want those in.
But no, man, she looked great. I have to compare the Emperor of the Mirror Universe, Giorgio, that look, to this queen right here. Fairy tale versus real evil. Yeah. But the looks are phenomenal. The costuming and all of that is done so well.
Completely.
It really was.
It was amazing.
If you're going to be on a show, it's good to be the queen.
They had some amazing dresses. The costumes are not what we normally see for Star Trek, but they did such an incredible job with them.
The costuming department is the top in the business. They kill the show every week.
And if you took time to see the after show, you'd see just how intricate that the designs and how much they labored on them.
Also, too, I'm sure when you guys went to Chicago at the convention and you saw it in person, I bet that was something.
Yeah, it was great. That's one cool thing about these conventions is when they display the costuming and, that museum style display, you look at it and the detail, you can walk right up to it. Even though you're watching it in 4K and HD at home, you can walk up to these things and look at them, and the details are fantastic. They 3D print stuff. They combine 3D printing with costuming in ways that you've never seen before. It's so inventive and so well done.
And you were getting ready to say, Pat?
Oh, well, when Rocky said, it's good to be the queen, I was going to say, yeah, it is.
Hey, I can't complain, right?
And I love
it is Pride Month after all, so you know.
And I love how they turned around and they added something personal from each person when they did the 3D print. Like for the Doctor, they added stuff from his native.
The crown was from was it Kenya?
No, I don't think it was Kenya. I think it was
Nigeria.
Nigerian, yeah, from Nigeria, and the different stuff they added.
And they printed like these little flowers and chromed them and stuff. And I'm like, wow, I need to dig out that 3D printer that somebody gave me and plug that sucker in and see if I can do something cool with it.
That's because you got lazy and love doing the replicators. But it was really a good section, and I find myself even before halfway of this show was thoroughly enjoying this episode as a nice bottle, or as they call it, filler episode. It was
great stuff.
Really done well.
Did you guys notice, now that when I did my second watch, I'm noticing things and taking down notes. Did you notice the candles in, was it Pike's ready room? When they went to discuss how they're going to recover the Mercury Stone and all that jazz?
What about them?
Well, I think they're the same candles from the other two episodes.
Oh,
because they're a little bit shorter than the other episodes. I think they've been recycling some candles.
Well, they figured they didn't throw them out. Just use them.
And, candles on the set in Star Trek. Again, it's the thing I'm noticing now. Is like, wow, they really do like candles. They look great on camera.
And they smell nice.
If you get the right ones, they do.
Well, if they're Virginia Hayes candles, they smell great.
Yeah. Oh my God. I wish she was still doing those, but she isn't.
Okay. So I can't stand the smell of candles, but I found one candle that I really, really love. And if you go to Walmart, the brand is Maystay, and it is apple pumpkin.
Maystay?
It's not pumpkin spice or anything. Yeah. The brand is Maystay, and it's apple pumpkin. And I absolutely love that smell. And I am not a fragrant person at all.
So you're saying the month May and the word stay.
Correct.
Okay,
and
because it sounded like you were saying mace day, like as in you're going to mace someone on this day. I'm like, why would you want a candle that smells like mace?
Wow. Ooh, I got an idea for Klingon Candles.
I wonder if that would go over well for Klingons.
Candles in our gift shop?
Yeah, candles. Let's put candles that smell like mace. The Klingons would light them up.
If an actor ever needs to cry, they could just light this candle.
Right.
It's the mace candle.
This is a warrior's candle.
That's awesome. Oh, man. The only other thing, my parents were a little bit goofy. They took a box of crayons and designed a rainbow-colored candle because they would melt the wax of the crayons down. And it was really...
sounds like fun.
It was very cool. But as a child growing up in my house, I'm looking over, what the fuck are you guys doing? Because I had no clue what they were doing. And, of course, now I realize how awesome that is.
Why are you taking my candle or my crayons?
That's what I was thinking. Wait, so they took your crayons, but they didn't include you in the project?
No, they bought a whole new set of crayons and didn't include me in the project. But they would experiment with different colors and things, and it was really cool looking, crazy candles. Because I'm like, because my parents aren't necessarily super crafty. I'm like, what are they doing? It was completely blowing my mind. I just had to bring that up too. I guess I'm on a candle tangent now.
You're just a candle in the wind.
Oh, we killed the show hard right now.
Did no one get that?
I got it.
What was
Elton
it?
John, Candle in the Wind.
They played that song so much when I worked in radio. Oh my God.
Okay, in order to revitalize.
Or Candle on the Water from Pete's Dragon.
Candle in the Water from Pete's Dragon. Oh my God.
Helen Reddy sang it.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, let's revitalize this show. Okay, ready? All right. Everyone, clear. Heather, next
You're
section.
not going to shock it back into life. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Okay, I Captain. Next section. Act 2. Elementary, my dear Watson. Bad news. Dr. Mbenga and his gang are stuck in the dungeon. Good news. Hemmer is there, and they can discuss what's happening. The doctor explains that they are stuck inside a children's book with everyone playing a character. And as they brainstorm a bit and figure out, well, the nebula that they passed through had this weird conscious entity feeling coming from it. So they decide to contact the spirit again to see if they could talk with it. Thanks to Hemmer's conjuring of science, the prisoners escape. Abracadabra. Cobra. This infuriates the Ice Queen as she demands her minions go after them. Ortegas defeats the King, fighting 3 guards at once while Pike runs for his life. Una comes in and saves the day, driving Uhura's minions away. In engineering, Hemmer finds a consciousness without a body, floating in space with the power to create a new reality. In other words, they found a god. At least they know what they're dealing with before they go talk to it. During this, Dr. Mbenga notices that Ortegas and Una's characters are acting like they know each other very well, even though they've never met in the book. Una confirms that yes, they do know each other very well. Bow chicka wow wow.
It's not the book, it's the movie version. You know what I mean?
And this is not how the story is supposed to go. Rukia, she always wanted these 2 characters to team up. The entity must be projecting the story from her mind, not the doctor's. The gang rushes to sickbay and the doctor is dismayed to learn that his daughter is not in the transporter buffer. She is gone. Bum, bum, bum.
This part here, okay, I just had to laugh because I fell out when I saw Pike's hair, but I fell out even more when they started fighting and he always like, oh, run away.
Run away.
You expect him to be heroic like he is normally. And he just whips his coat around him and tears ass down the hall.
He isn't exactly known for his bravery.
No, that was so funny.
Oh my God.
I just could not stop laughing.
So comically funny. It's, again, applause to Anson Mount because it's just so fucking good, man.
No, he has that look like he's going to do something heroic and he stares down the hall and then he whips that cape around, takes off running. I was like, wow, that was funny.
Those who flee.
And the other thing I have to love about this section is we learned that, of course, Hemmer is, well, I mean, we knew he's telepathic, but they bring it up again. And the entity tried to contact him through him. And he's like, it felt like his brain was going to get squeezed out through his nose. And that was like, oh my God, what a great line. And then Ortegas says, I did that once. And I'm like, oh my God.
And the look Pike gives her, that look that Pike gives her. Like, ew, really?
It's amazing. But you have to realize at that time, that's the kind of violence they would see every day, you know? It's just like, wow, man.
Such a good episode.
Yeah.
It really was. And then the appearance, and she did an heroic appearance as Una. And I like the fact that even though it's a fantasy, she took care not to give anyone a kill shot.
Well, yeah, that was convenient.
Well, that was funny because the doctor's like, we must stop with this fantasy before someone seriously gets hurt. And I'm like, Ortegas just skewered several people and Una shot 2 people with the arrow. People are already hurt.
It's amazing. She could have disemboweled several of them, but she didn't. Yeah. And the fighting styles are like, I wanted to get a chance to talk to my sister about this because she's trained a little bit in the screen acting swordplay. I wanted to find out her opinions of these little battles they had because it was great. It was like, what, you're going to hurt me? You're not even armed. And she's like, okay, fine. I'll just arm myself. And she goes hand to hand and then takes somebody's sword and then it's a sword fight and kicking ass and taking names. And
she's like, I'm armed.
Yeah, it was great. And then Una shows up with the Huntress's arrows and it was just so good.
She hit one of them in the shoulder and then she used the arrow and shot the phaser out of the other one's hand.
Yeah, that was precision firing. Yeah, it was very cool. I mean, I haven't seen arrow play like that since The Walking Dead.
Or since Arrow.
It was also really fun to see that combination of fantasy and sci-fi where you have one person with a phaser and one person with a bow and arrow, you know? It's just really interesting how they did that.
And I love the way our favorite little engineer of the show takes care of the magic and getting them out. It's a powerful magic called science.
That was funny.
It's great stuff, man.
That was funny. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'll go after you.
No, please go.
No, you go ahead. No,
oh God, this is like a California
stop,
4-way stop sign.
You go ahead. No, you go ahead.
A California stop is a rolling stop.
No, yeah, I mixed the things. Yeah, California stop is a rolling stop. But this is like a 4-way stop in California. You go. No, you go. Fuck it. We'll all go.
Okay, with the daughter. The doctor said that his daughter always hated how the story ended. And I had to yell at my screen because I'm like, and that's the goddamn fucking story you picked to read to her over and over again as she is dying. The story that she hates.
Well, she just doesn't like this part of it. She likes the story overall.
She hated the ending. And that's the story he picks to read to her over and over again. I'm like, dude,
it's such
seriously?
a good story, though, until they...
But it just shows she loves her dad so much she didn't want to tell him she hated the ending until then.
Is that what it was?
So she's like, okay, I've been dealing with this for long. Fuck, I just got to tell you, Dad, I hate this part. Why can't they make better choices? Why can't they? And he's like, well, dear, Benjamin Sisko was a horrible writer.
Oh, good one, sir.
Oh, that's so fucked up.
Very good one, sir.
Why didn't you bring more books? Bring more books.
I give her a little variety, but she apparently wanted this one read over and over again.
Bring more books.
Okay, I think this is why this bugs me. I am a book person. I love reading, and I go anywhere. I literally have a minimum of like 2 or 3 books with me. Like in my purse, in the car, like I'm always carrying like more than 1 book with me. So for her to bring 1 book on this trip, and that just irritated me like nails on a chalkboard.
Well, it's not like he couldn't have replicated a new one either.
Bring a Kindle.
No.
Bring a Kindle.
Her Amazon account.
My God. She's
like stuck in the things. Her Amazon account must have like relapsed because she can't pay it. She's been in a buffer for so long.
She can't pay the bill.
No. So that's why she only has the 1 book. Poor thing. But it really, he figures out that there's definitely something's going on. So now he decides he's got to try to find where his daughter's at, and Hemner is finally, he's getting into it. It's about being a wizard.
Oh, he's owning it. I love that engineers are the wizards. That's of course they were.
Yeah.
That's great.
That was good.
No, we haven't got to the part where he uses the thing yet, hasn't he?
Well, they cut him. He got out of the dungeon, so that was a good moment. And then they have another moment coming up.
Oh, speaking of the dungeon,
the transporter.
Did you notice that? Did you notice that the dungeon was the transporter?
Literally, the thing that lets you go anywhere is the dungeon. Not
just that, but here it is. Like, we all know the ending. So this entity comes and saves the daughter from the transporter prison and then creates a prison out of the transporter room.
It's the dungeon because she feels like she's in the dungeon.
Yeah.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful writing.
I thought that was a really interesting connection between the two.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Nice pickup, Heather.
Thanks.
As always.
Fancy.
Yeah, she's good. Yeah. She's good at that sort of thing. That's great connections.
She really is. For a second, I got nervous. I thought she was going to talk about another mission with another dungeon that we were in.
No. That's the one in San Francisco that I guess is part of Stranger Things now.
Yeah.
Although I did keep the whip from that experience.
Oh.
Thank you.
I like that they brought up consciousness without a body, the Boltzmann Brain, and I'm not sure. I guess I've got to go Google more of that. But you know what it reminded me of was in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy that a whale was spontaneously created and it was fascinated by all the things going down while I believe it was falling to its death, but it had a whole dialogue of things going on. Oh wow, this is neat. Oh, that's neat. This is fascinating. I wonder about this. I wonder about that. Oh look, there's this thing approaching from below. Splat.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is definitely entertaining reading.
Yeah, you want to talk about a good book to be reading over and over again. That would be a good one.
That's a really good one.
And that's why we pull out a position. Sometimes we get so long and thanks for all the fish.
Mm-hmm.
What's the meaning of life?
Okay. Was it Patrick, the meaning of life? Was it 47? 42. That's right.
Well, that's the answer to the life, the universe, and everything.
Yeah.
42.
The question, that's a whole nother thing. You want to know the question to the answer? Life, the universe, and oh my God, we've got to go compute that later.
That was good. And so I guess that we hit all the points on this section. So
I was hoping that when they escaped the dungeon, Hemmer would actually go into the transporter and hotwire it and then transport them out.
Well, that's what I was thinking was going to happen.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting him to cut the jail.
But he kind of did in a way, and we'll get to that on that part.
Yeah, he makes use of that later.
So
that is true.
It is funny because he sits there and he's starting getting into it. It's like, like, this is abracadabra. So that's funny for us because he was so against role playing in the beginning, and he just started really.
He was having fun. He even did a little cowboy thing where he blew the top of the pen like it was a smoking gun or something.
I know. That was funny.
It was great.
It was so good.
Okay, I guess we can go to the next section.
Aye, Captain. Act 3. It's a trap. Dr. Mbenga and Hemmer frantically search for Rukia while Spock eavesdrops on their plans. As soon as he returns to the cargo bay, Spock tattles to the Ice Queen, who is now determined to find the girl before they do. She must be the Mercury Stone. The race is on, and the first one to the finish line being Dr. Mbenga. Followed closely behind is the double agent Pike with a knife to the doctor's throat. The Ice Queen and her minions have arrived to take the girl away.
The heat is on.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my God,
Bum, bum, bum. You're not a singing podcast.
I noticed when we brought this up last week about people sitting in the captain's chair sideways, that whole thing. The Queen had a shot in this section where she's sitting sideways in her throne. It's like, that's not how you're supposed to sit in a throne, but she's totally owning the throne, sitting sideways in it. I love like that. I don't know if it's a character trait, but it's cool.
I wonder if the actress saw the last character do that, and she's like, oh, I need to do that.
It's very cool.
Well, it looks cool. I'm going to tell you from practical application on a duty rotation while you're on the bridge in the captain's chair for 8 hours, sitting in that position is not very comfortable. Just telling you now, it is not.
Your lower back sucker would recline a little bit.
No, your lower
right?
back hurts. To sit sideways like that, your lower back hurts. And if you keep your legs too long in that position, the console cuts off circulation in your big thigh.
They start cramping.
Yeah, and then
Gotcha.
you give the whole bridge crew lots to talk about because if you go to stand up, you fall flat on your face, your face plant, because your leg went to sleep.
And you just got to make sure you're not sitting like Sharon Stone.
Yeah, well, I got pants on, so I'm good for that. But you with your scant, oh man, there was a lot of talk.
I could see Patrick sitting like that.
Yeah, no, Captain, I don't want to look back.
No, there were a lot of talk on the bridge about Patrick having an angry tortoise.
I mean, can you imagine? Sulu would never see the bridge screen. You'd be always facing the other. Oh my!
Oh, hello.
And then when Rocky's on command, there'd be talk about why does he bring his pet snake with him? That's not his snake.
Oh, my favorite part of this section was when Pike was captured and Uhura was talking to him. He's like, I'm too young to die. What do you want from me? And Uhura's like, your loyalty. And Pike's like, oh, is that it?
It's
no
like,
problem.
I can give you that.
Oh, yeah. Instant loyalty. Bows.
No spine whatsoever.
Yeah. And you realize the character he's playing is actually that of the cowardly lion.
Yeah.
Cowardly lion. There we go.
It did remind me of Wizard of Oz in a way.
Yeah. He's like, no matter what, he says, okay, I'll just go whichever way the wind blows. I'm good.
Yeah, like, oh, that's all you want. Oh, I could totally do that.
Yeah, again, against his primal, his as an actor, as Pike, he would never do that.
Oh,
it's
no.
like, what do you want from me? Your loyalty. What? Oh, okay, cool. I'll betray everybody. No worries.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he was able to get the drop on Omega. You know, how do you sneak up on the king like that? That's some fucked up devious shit right there.
And the smile on his face is like, haha, I got you. What?
Duper's delight.
Yeah. Oh, is this part now where Hemner uses his device, or that's next?
Next part.
That's next.
I mean, isn't that a private moment?
He uses his device.
His blue device. What?
It's not every day, though. People want to be private with use of their device.
No, because he's an albino Andorian. So is it blue or down there, or is it kind of gray?
Patrick, find out for us.
No.
Yeah, Patrick is the foreign species liaison.
Yeah, so that's your job. I wasn't doing it to be funny.
No.
Are they like Andorians? Are they different than Andorians? We need to know.
Does it have antennas on the antenna? Ooh.
We need to find out.
It's got antennas for her pleasure.
Hey, we got an away mission for you, number one.
Is it like the hero-gasm moment in The Boys?
No spoilers.
All right, so we'll have to talk it offline. Chief, remove the adult filters off of.
We don't have those filters.
Oh, you already took them off.
We've never had those filters.
We've never had them.
We've never filtered ourselves.
I thought I put it on there when I went to look for a grandfather clock and I forgot the L. So that wasn't a fun experience. Okay.
That was the stupidest fucking joke ever.
And it wasn't so funny a joke. Each time. This is like the third time you said the joke in the last 3 years.
I went to the grandfather clock without the L. Ooh,
you know what?
That's so funny, though.
You know what? That means I'm entitled to give the joke once a year. So y'all shut up.
So you were looking for your clock, huh?
Oh,
he doesn't know what time it is.
I really don't know what time it is. Okay, let's go. Let's go on,
please.
Hi, Captain. Act 4, Happily Ever After. The Ice Queen goes for the doctor's daughter, so he threatens to bring the might of his kingdom down upon their heads. Hemmer sees this and is instantly excited about playing a fantasy character. Too bad he didn't take any improv classes. Because of this, once he gets started, he fails miserably, but he does successfully beam away the Ice Queen and her minions. So in the end, nobody cares about his cringe-worthy wizardly performance. Dr. Mbenga enters the room and sees his daughter transformed into a Disney princess as she's been miraculously healed. Her friend, the spirit in the nebula, brought her out of the transporter buffer, healed her, and then set up a TV so she could watch her book come to life. Being the responsible parent that he is, Dr. Mbenga requests to speak to her playmate's guardian. Using Hemmer as a conduit, the spirit insists that Rukia must stay while the doctor is worried about freeing the crew. Curious about this attachment, the doctor comes to realize that they are kindred spirits connected through their loneliness. If Rukia and the spirits separate, the child will die. However, there is another option. The child could stay while the ship leaves. After a touching, heartfelt moment and much bawling afterwards, they agree to give it a try. The spirit leaves Hemmer's body and a warm, ticklish glow envelops Rukia, whisking her away. About 10 minutes later, a young adult appears and it's Rukia, all grown up. She thanks him for his decision and tells him she is happy, she is safe, and she is creating a new Choose Your Own Adventure every week. Moments for you have been years for me and Deborah. She named the entity after her mother. They say goodbye once more, but this time the doctor has no regrets. He knows he did the right thing. Rukia disappears back to the entity and the ship is returned to normal. No one, except the doctor, remembers what happens. Una comes to realize that he is the only one who knows what happened to the missing 5 hours. Sounds like a hell of a story. It is. It begins like all good stories. Once upon a time.
I think he's going to get visited by Section 31.
Is that what you think is going to happen?
Those 5 hours, sir. You got to tell us what happened. We have to investigate this. Nobody knows what happened except you.
It was really, that part there was definitely a misty-eyed moment.
Oh my God, I cried so hard.
This is great fairy tale stuff, man.
It really was.
It was beautiful.
Because he had to decide to lose his daughter, somebody he's been caring for and trying to heal, so she can have her best life.
This is all foreshadowed in the writing, because in the book, they have to make the choice between the Mercury Stone and, and this and that. And he had to make the choice between the Mercury Stone, his Mercury Stone, which is his daughter, and the crew. And this is a really hard choice, an impossible choice to make. And then he has to make it, and it's heartbreaking. It's beautiful. The kid gets to go off with the entity in space, and it's glorious. I mean, it's it tickles. I mean, it's wonderful. The feelings,
I wish you could meet Wesley Crusher anytime soon.
It was such a wonderful way to send off a child. It really looked beautiful and warm and loving and feel goody. And I really love the way that they just made it very heavenly.
Yeah, and this has been building up too. it's a story that it's like 3 episodes now, at least, that they've been talking with the kid in the transporter buffer. This is like wild. We know it couldn't go forever, and we know it has
It just costs you too much energy to keep her in that buffer.
Well, yeah, it costs too much money to beam her in and out of the sick bay all the time.
Also, too, as the audience, we get sort of tired seeing the same story rehashed.
Right. And it's like, yeah, we need to have finality to this, and they gave it to us. And when you said it was heavenly when she went out, the effects work done, the nebula of sprinkles that tinkle, that tickle. Tinkling is different. They tickle. It was gorgeous. But then the moment she transferred out through the window, that effect was not overdone. It could have been incredibly overdone, but it was just a simple little whoosh to the corner off to the window. And it was just so, heavenly was what Heather said. And I think it was beautiful in that way. It's just the effects work. I know they have the best team in the business doing this work, but still, it's pretty fucking good, man, every week.
I like the angst that he had, because you see him actually really as a doctor to do no harm. And he's like, I can't let my crew go to this. And he's like, and I love my daughter, but I also have my crew. And he asked her, this I think was the point for him. Do you want to do it? And
I love how quickly he was able to come. Yeah. I mean, this has been an issue that's been going on in his head for quite some time, because he's been fighting and trying and using all the science he knows to solve this problem. He can't do it. It literally blows up in his face.
Yeah.
And he realizes this is the outcome.
It comes down to sacrifice.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. And to include his daughter in that decision, it's such a big decision about her life. And to have him be like, what do you want? It's your life. I'm going to make this decision for you, but what do you want? Like, he didn't just make the decision for her. He asked her, He
lets her weigh in. Yeah.
And if she said she wanted to stay, he probably, who knows, he probably would have tried to find a way to go along with it.
Yep.
And do instant back into the buffer again. But it was really nice. And the part that got me really touched me is that he's sitting there dealing with the consequences of the decision. I let my baby girl go. And then before he could gather his thoughts, the shimmer is back and there's this woman in front of him.
Yeah, that was neat.
Not only a woman, but it looks like his wife. It looked like her mother.
Yeah.
To see that.
And all that.
And to get the message that she's happy.
Yes.
I love that they put that right on us, because this was really heavy. I mean, he's like, crying. Wow, he just, sent the daughter away. We're in tears. And then they throw that on us and give us even a happier ending to this. It's just wow, man.
They had that wait where it's like you're sitting there and she's gone, and it's just this waiting time. And you're like, did he do the right thing? Was this the right choice? And then to have her come back and be like, I'm happy. I'm loved. I'm healthy. We're having fun. This is wonderful. More crying.
And the chance to see his daughter, where he may or may not have had a chance later on if the time it ran naturally.
Yeah, for that to be his last memory, to see her grown up looking like her mother.
Yeah, to know that he did do the right decision, and to carry that thought of what happened, because he really can't tell anyone, like you say, hey, Section 31, and they would have treated that nebula like they did for the menagerie, that one planet where it's under the penalty of death to go to. It's the only penalty in Starfleet that it will allow you, that they will give you the death penalty if you go to that planet. So I thought that was really nice. But to do the comedic side a little bit, we have to give Hemner the award for overacting.
Oh my God.
That was wonderful.
The full power of my wizardry.
And then
I'm sending you to the event horizon of a dark place with monsters and things. And he's bluffing.
But then when he does the Elvis pose with his fist, and then you see him kind of peek out with his dead eyes over at the people to see what's going on, and he hits the trip. And they disappear. We just send him to a cargo room.
Yep, I just beamed him away. It's not a big deal. The magic of science prevails once again.
Also, too, after they all come back and they lose their memory, Hemmer, he wakes up and he's like, I have the worst headache. Doctor, am I in your quarters? I don't remember anything. Did you roofie me?
That's a little bit weird.
What have you been doing?
That's funny. But he's got the memory he's got to carry for this whole crew. But it was a satisfactory ending.
Yeah.
His daughter. And it makes me wonder if Una's going to say, what happened to your daughter? Why you don't need this special circuit anymore? You know, is he ever going to tell her?
Well, he told Una what happened, right?
Yeah.
Like at the end, he told her the story in like story form.
Yeah.
It wasn't like...
No, I think you're right. It was a really... Yeah, I think he would share it with Una because they developed a close relationship now.
Yeah.
And she knew about his daughter and everything. No. And it's like, he's not telling her what happened. He's telling her, hey, let me tell you this story from, you know, a children's. So it's not like I'm telling you what's happened.
But she's swift enough. She put 2 and 2 together in a way.
Yeah.
And I wonder, the people were shot with arrows, so they're all of a sudden appearing in sickbay.
I got this huge hole right in my chest. What the hell happened?
What the fuck happened?
Yup. You know it. That's why sickbay was so full.
Yeah, like Uhura's like, where does these nails come from?
Uhura's like, I like this dress. I'm keeping this dress.
Oh my God. I would have
Leanne's like, holy shit, get me the fuck out of this dress.
I can see it.
Where did this dog come from?
Yeah, where the fuck did this dog? Oh my God. That would have been funny. I would have lost it if Pike walked into sickbay with the same hair.
Would you sleep on your hair weird,
it's
sir?
It's like, what the hell? But it was nicely done. And plus, now that he knows that his daughter's there, he could, well, you know what? I don't think I would visit anymore.
He might come back later.
No,
when he's got time.
I don't think so. I wouldn't, because from the time it took me from the nod my head and raise it back, she was a grown woman. So that means time is passing. I would go back to the nebula and it's like, I came to see my daughter. She died.
I think she's experiencing time in a different way.
Wait, are you saying?
Well,
I don't think she's sped up. I think she's just experiencing it a different way. Like all time at once.
Passes differently.
Kind of like the prophets. You know, time passes differently. Yeah.
Is it established?
So God is like, we're going to speed up time just to get you to be a grown up, and then we're going to stop time, keep you as a grown up, so that way we could have actual fun.
Well, that I can deal with. That I think would be cool.
The entity said she would never know death.
Yeah, or sickness or anything.
I missed that part. Thank you, number one. Yeah, then I would go back and visit. And then when it came close for me to die, it's like, hey, can you pull me in? You know, I'm ancient now. Pull me in and let me spend the rest of my eternity with my daughter.
I hope he put an X on the star map of where that was.
Yeah, memory note to visit this place later.
It's like, here's immortality. Here's immortality. But where was it again? I didn't mark it on the map.
That would my GPS forgot. Where
that would be an excellent short. That would be an excellent short. You see an old black guy trying to commandeer a shuttle, and you don't recognize it's the doctor until he makes it to the nebula.
That would be interesting.
Oh, wow. That's weird.
Whatever happened to the Star Trek shorts? I want to see more Star Trek shorts. Are
they
not doing that anymore?
You know what happened is COVID happened, and it slowed down the entire production process. So before they had a lot of free time on their hands to do stuff in between shows.
Oh, and now they don't have free time.
Now they have 4 shows to do at once. But
and they're doing more shows. Okay.
I'm wearing my Star Trek shorts.
Now, also, if they do that short I just mentioned, y'all heard it from me first. I'm going to want royalties.
Yeah, there you go. Write that down and copyright it.
You know, it'll be timestamped on this podcast.
I got one more thing. Because Hammer's been killing on this episode.
Yeah, MC Hammer.
Yeah, he also, I have to just bring up the scene where the entity talks through him.
Oh, yeah.
It was so fucking cool. And if you got a chance to watch this with surround sound on, the idea of overlaying a voice on top of another voice was really cool. But in surround sound, it had an extra dimension to it that was really ethereal and eerie and cool. I got big props to the sound crew on this one too. I really enjoyed that. That was really cool.
Yeah, I agree. The sound was, and it's not often you get surround sound. There's not often shows even take advantage of that shit.
Yeah, normally they don't have enough time to. You get maybe a little traffic background or something once in a while. But no, they really, that's the spacey stuff that can really stretch out into the surrounds, as it were. It's really cool.
Yeah, the only time I knew my surround sound was working really well is it on football. When the referee said something behind me, said something, I turned around, I was like, who the fuck? Because it's like, I didn't expect it coming out of the left
You hear
corner.
the beer guy, beer, ice cold beer in the background. Yeah.
So, but other than that, they don't do it often.
Or you know, the bad call and you hear a crowd go, bullshit in the background.
Yeah.
Live TV in your surrounds.
Now that part becomes good. But this, I thought, was a really good episode. And I'm really curious on how everyone's going to rate this.
It's next level, man. This is really cool shit.
What'd you think there, Lieutenant Commander?
I give this episode my first 10 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
It gets a perfect score. I was laughing. I was crying. I love the combination of fantasy and sci-fi. I love the story. I love the ending. It's just a perfect 10. This was perfect.
Number one?
I'll give it a 9. Like, I was having a really crap day, so watching that was like a lot of fun, but then it got to the end and it just fucked me up again. So
because of the emotion?
Good. Yeah.
And how about you, Chief?
I got to at least give it a 9, but this is like an episode outside of Star Trek because it was a whole nother thing. It was a fairy tale. So there's like a whole nother one to make it a 10. So it's like a 9 with a 1 by the side of it, and you just add them together. do your own math.
I didn't realize it would be homework on this podcast.
Yeah, isn't that great? But I loved it. And then the moments, of course, it started with this little cute moment with him and his daughter, and then it ended with the moment, and he said the phrase, "I love you always." I just fucking got me, man.
I've never in the 3-4 years of this podcast has given this rating. So I will have to give it a 1 plus the 0. So this was
you mean a 1 and a 0?
Yeah, together.
Not plus.
Not a binary.
Plus, it's just a 1.
Yeah, because then it would be a binary. Did somebody just whisper stupid? Was that my first officer again?
Math is so hard on this show.
Oh my God.
Stupid.
Oh my God. Just shut it. Yeah, I would have to give it a 10. Because I really love
Derek.
What? No, it's not about Derek, and she stole braids. But I really loved the episode and how the actors chewed it up.
It was
from
great.
The costume, to Hemner, to MC, to the hair. The hair should have its own rating.
The hair has its own show, man.
Just, oh my God. And I have to say, as much as that his character in Dune, the Doctor, I was annoyed with his character. He's such a good actor. It made me forget how annoyed I was with him in Dune. So
it's beautiful characters doing beautiful things in beautiful roles with beautiful writing.
It really was.
The thing at the end, he has to go live his own life and create his own stories. That's just such beautiful writing right there. I'm just over this episode, and they've spread this out over several episodes to make this one hit. That's just high five to the writing crew too.
God damn it! I didn't realize that Dr. Mbenga was in Dune until you just said that.
Yeah, he was. He was the guy. When he went to go fight Charlemagne. I have bad news for everybody, and I'm sorry to give it now, especially after such a great episode. But there's only 2 left.
Oh, I thought you were going to drop something really heavy on us, man.
This is.
I'm so upset
left.
that we have to watch Enterprise again.
There's 2 episodes left.
There's 2 more episodes. This is awesome. We got 2 more episodes coming. 2
more left. And Heather,
you got to look positive towards this, man, because this stuff has been hitting on all cylinders pretty much the whole damn season.
I look positive to Strange New Worlds. I am very negative towards Enterprise.
Well,
obviously, if you haven't figured it out.
Okay, then we'll start reviewing Strange New Worlds.
We have been.
We've been, yeah.
Wait,
now we have to do Enterprise.
Where am I?
I'm not looking forward to that.
Was this Mead?
Are you drinking the Mead, sir?
I don't know. What's the next title?
I didn't put time crystals in there.
What's the title for the next episode?
It is not listed in IMDb.
What?
Nope.
Wow.
How about you, Heather? Do you know the next episode? Don't let me one up on my crew.
I'm looking. I thought I saw it last night. Double check.
They show us a little teaser, and it looked like something out of Aliens.
It's called All Those Who Wander.
That's right, and it's going to look like Aliens.
They were sneaking around in the dark
and corridors and evil.
It looked like a scary movie.
The first thing I thought was, if all the power is off, how is the gravity still working?
Oh, good point.
Do you know where that title's coming from?
Where?
Yes, Memory Alpha.
No. But not all who wander. It's a Tolkien.
Lost.
Not all who wander are lost.
Yeah.
And
it's one of my favorite Tolkien sayings.
And to see him just reminds me of that line in Dr. Detroit. There is movement in the dark, nasty things hiding. Come out so I can see you. So there's definitely.
They were talking about you?
No, I wasn't in the dark then. I was in Detroit. Doctor, Detroit. Okay.
Dang.
Dan Aykroyd film, which is extremely stupid but funny.
The next episode looks like it's going to be a scary movie or horror movie or something along those lines.
Get your popcorn ready.
So it's going to be set. So thanks everybody for coming in and enjoying the show with us. We really have fun doing this podcast, and I guess you can tell, and I hope you have fun listening to it. Well, you have to, because our numbers have been increasing slowly over the last 3 years. I don't even know what our metrics is right now. Do you have any idea, Chief?
I could tell you, but we're not going to.
But I'd have to kill you.
I can only imagine our numbers are not as good as they could be, but we love the ones that are still there.
Yeah, we have a dedicated, really hardcore following, or either that or somebody keeps listening to the show over and over. So it kind of fools our numbers, but thank you anyway.
My parents are still listening. That's pretty crazy.
Oh, wow.
After everything we've said, they're still listening.
They're like, Rocky, we listened to the show.
Oh.
Angie, what show? Your show.
I'm sorry.
What? Oh my God. Okay. Okay, cool. Good. And then just kind of walk out of the room.
Sorry.
And then the next week they're like, Rocky, we're listening to your show again. I played it for your dad. I'm like, oh God. What did we say this time?
And he's like, I'm so proud of my son because he's so endowed with.
Apparently, I have a large appendage. And my parents apparently know this.
Oh my God.
That must make for some interesting dinner conversations.
I don't talk about how big the hot dogs are when we have hot dogs and noodles.
I guess not.
There's a hot dog filter, of course.
Wow.
Oh my God.
That's kind of, maybe we should edit the show and have a G-rated show versus an R-rated show.
Parents only.
A P-rated show. Rated P for parents.
P-rated show for parents.
Or penis.
Wow. That would make our show sound totally like we have brain damage. You know that, right? You
like,
go to edit
like
out.
the show doesn't sound like that normally.
No, it would be even worse. So I was asking myself, what the and they put it in there. What the?
And what the?
Star Trek.
Did you guys notice the star dates for each of these episodes jump around a lot?
Yeah.
Well, like, that's what the original show did.
Because like the Elysian Kingdom was 2341.6 and the Serene Squall was 1997.9.
Okay, you guys are a bunch of nerds if you're writing down star dates.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I applaud you people. But I shake my head sometimes.
Those Lift Us Where the Suffering Cannot Reach was 1943.7 and Spock Amok was 2341.4.
And Memento Mori was 3177.3.
Yeah.
So who knows? They'll probably coming up with the right thing, and who knows? Maybe Memory Alpha just put in whatever they put in.
Because Ghost of Illyria was 1224.3. That was like the earliest one.
Yeah, and that was happened even before the pilot. So it's interesting. Yep. Okay, everybody. I guess we should let the crew go on shore leave. Yes, I am announcing shore leave, so everyone can go on shore leave. I'm gonna
gather the dots, and we're gonna win the Ren Fair.
Yeah,
or at least the jousting part.
Have them clean up the corridor. So that would be. Ow, motherfucker!
Watch
Why
out.
the hell you run into me with your damn horn?
You're yelling at that triple.
I was hoping you were bent over.
You could have just.
I swear, they're aiming.
Gave my attention. Don't hop your ass out of here. I'm gonna have to go to the EMH over here because a Tribble came into the room and he ran me with his friggin' horn in the ankle.
Ow.
That's what I said. So thanks everyone for listening. Fuck, it's bleeding. Great. Thank you for being with the show. Please come back next week and continue listening to us if we haven't totally offended you.
Yeah, we'll get rid of the ankle stabbers, we swear.
Thank you.
No ankle stabbers.
No. And we are getting a heat wave from what I understand from oh God, For astronaut, what the room with all the stars? Thank you. From say it
Captain
again.
referred to it as a room with all the stars.
Yes,
astrometric, sir.
So astrometric said there's a heat wave going on down on Earth right now. So please stay cool and be careful out there. Remember, just don't have a great week, but make it so.
A room with all the stars,
isn't it though?
Which is different with a room with all the lines.
What's that?
The holodeck.
Oh, that's yeah. It is a room with the lines.
I was thinking of the room with the lights, the 4 lights.
No, that's the captain's office when we turn on the broadcasting transmitter.
Holy shit! It's still flashing back and forth. We're still broadcasting.
You gotta turn off the subspace transmitter, sir. Hit the off switch.
Right, here's the button.
And if you can, support the show by going to patreon.com/Starfleet Underground. Lots of perks to choose from, and you might even like some of them. Starfleet Underground, beaming into a podcast feed near you. Log on to our website at starfleetunderground.com and send your comments and questions to thecollective@starfleetunderground.com. Follow us on Twitter at StarfleetUnderG and on Facebook and Instagram, we're Starfleet Underground.